Hello and welcome to I24 News Sports Weekend Edition, bringing you some of the best stories from the world of sports this past week. Another Champions League match was held here in Israel as Maccabi Tel Aviv hosted Portuguese side Porto in the group stage. The only good thing for the home team was they finally scored a goal. Everything else went the visitors' way, with Porto easily winning the match. Michael Friedman was at the Sami Ofer Stadium in Haifa for an evening that once again showed the giant difference between Israeli teams and the elite European clubs.
Maccabi Tel Aviv hosted Porto in the group stage of the Champions League on Wednesday night in Sami Ofer Stadium. The match brought around 26,000 passionate Maccabi fans, all looking to experience high-level European football in their home country. After the supporters saw the Champions League group draw, they all knew big stars were coming to Israel.
First I heard that these teams are coming. I just called my friend and tell him I want to buy a ticket. Let's go to see the games, to see all these incredible players. It's such an honor to be here tonight.
While the Israeli fans were hopeful of a positive result, they knew they were facing a strong competitor. Porto came to Israel on top of the table and proved their technical abilities and skills against Maccabi. The team controlled the match and took the 3 points needed with a 3-1 victory.
Yeah, this is good to always be first, and we will see what's going to happen.
And for some of those Porto players, they were impressed with the screaming Maccabi fanatics.
The fans is amazing here. They sing all the time, all the game. I didn't expect this. I expect because I saw the game in Porto. I was really shaking because of these supporters.
Although this result was another difficult loss for the Maccabi players to swallow, the team at least grabbed their first goal in the group stage campaign.
The goal was important for us, but it not was the main part of the game. The reality that we lost the game, and we hope to make better in the two games that we need to play.
The yellow and blue supporters left the stadium still waving their flags, dreaming for that one big win.
Well, we're a little bit disappointed. We didn't expect to win these games. We hope to improve in the few years more and get more points against the big clubs.
While the home crowd didn't get the result they hoped for, those Porto fans who traveled got to enjoy Israel and, most importantly, return to Portugal with a win.
It was very nice. It was very nice. The stadium, the people, and also Maccabi fans are very friendly. So it's great to come here. And for us, it's very good to come and to see Porto win again.
Maccabi Tel Aviv's next match will be home against Chelsea on November 24th. And with big superstars coming, it will provide even more excitement for football lovers in Israel.
And Michael, you're here with me in the studio. Hi, thank you for coming.
Hi.
So it was 3-1, only 3-1. We should say you were there, you saw it. It could have easily been 5-1, even more. That's a difference between Israeli teams and other teams?
Porto is a world-class team. You see Maccabi not even close to the same level. You know, it's great for them to have these big teams coming here, but we see the vast difference between what true European football is and what Israeli football has. Porto just outplayed them. They hustled for every ball. They were fantastic everywhere on the pitch. And Maccabi, you know, they gave away stupid errors and allowed for Porto to really capitalize on all their mistakes.
Another thing Maccabi did is celebrate their goal, which made it 3-1. And you know, maybe we shouldn't compare ourselves to the Portos or the Chelseas. We should compare ourselves to the Bate Borisovs or the Astanas. They take points in the Champions League, whereas we celebrate a goal. That's the difference between Israeli football and other small nations. I'm not speaking about Portugal.
The entire stadium had their cameras out, taking the video because they don't know when they're going to ever see another Champions League goal. And it was a penalty, so it wasn't anything that impressive. But you could see, you know, for the fans, they're just happy to be able to be part of this. It's an exciting opportunity to see Champions League group stage play. But really, you know, despite the atmosphere being wild and everyone chanting throughout the match, they're no comparison. They're not at the same level. And if they want to try and be a Chelsea or a Porto, I don't think.
Or about the Borisov, you know what? Even
makes
that
more sense. Yeah, Bate Borisov is a better chance for them to be like that, but they're miles away. But the fans itself were great to watch. They supported them the entire 90 minutes, something that is special for them to have. And they have one big match left, which is Chelsea, so I'm sure they're going to be going crazy for that game.
Yeah, that's the kind of teams we don't usually see here in Israel. Michael Friedman, thank you very much for coming. The Rugby World Cup came to its end last weekend with the biggest final there could be. The two powerhouses of the sport, the Wallabies and the All Blacks, facing off on the biggest stage there is. Australia and New Zealand were looking to be the first to win the coveted trophy for a record third time, but there can only be one winner, and this time it was the Kiwis. Michael Friedman brings the story of the very exciting final and the celebrations that followed.
The highly anticipated Rugby World Cup featured New Zealand and Australia at Twickenham Stadium in England. Both teams came out fired up in what is considered one of the biggest rivalries in the sport. To get ready for the final, the All Blacks did their pre-match haka, a traditional Maori ancestral war dance. The game began in New Zealand's Dan Carter kicked a penalty to give his team an early 3-0 lead, and the player received a round of applause by the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Australia answered back to level the score, and the two teams continued to battle throughout the first half. After a big hit on Dan Carter, the player responded by hitting another penalty kick to bring his side up again. The All Blacks would then push forward and make the first try of the match as Ned Milner-Scudder slid through the line. And the All Blacks left the field at halftime leading 16-3. The second half continued with New Zealand getting another try and adding to their lead. After another big hit in the match, the referee showed Ben Smith a yellow card, which was the first time ever a player received a card in a World Cup final. Australia then made their first try of the game. The team continued their run, making another try and closing the gap, leaving the score 21-17. Despite the Wallabies' resilience, the All Blacks responded with Carter making a drop goal and the team running away with the match winning 34-17. The players jumped around in excitement after making history, becoming the first team to win their third William Webb Ellis title.
Yeah, there was a couple of things that we wanted to achieve, and we wanted to make history, and no New Zealand team has won the World Cup outside of New Zealand, and also no team has won back-to-back World Cups. So to be standing here saying that we've achieved that is something we're very proud of.
It was all celebrations for the All Black supporters around the world. Many of their fans traveled a great distance to London, and those who didn't make it into the stadium watched from Trafalgar Square, cheering in excitement. The Kiwis back in New Zealand had no words after the win. And the celebrations continued with fans at a bar singing the famous song by Queen. While the local enthusiasts had to watch bright and early in New Zealand, it will be a morning they'll never forget.
Best morning of my life! Oh, Carter Smith! The big five, they all stood up! What more do you want, mate?
As New Zealand lifted the coveted trophy, they further separated themselves from the rest. The champions have set the bar high and will be focused on staying the greatest team in the world.
Kansas City waited for 30 long years to find baseball success again, or even better said, the city waited for 30 years to find any sporting success. The long wait is now over as the Royals beat the Mets to win the World Series, and the celebrations, which began at Citi Field in New York, turned to a massive party back in Missouri.
The 2015 World Series brought the Kansas City Royals and the New York Mets together in one of the biggest sporting events in America. The Royals last won the championship in 1985, while the Mets won it for the last time the following year. With both teams hoping to bring the crown back to their home cities, the stakes were very high. The Royals won Game 1 and 2 in front of their home fans, while the Mets took Game 3 in New York. With Game 4 important for both teams, the Royals would win 5-3 to lead the series 3-1.
And the game is over.
Game 5 would then prove dramatic. While the Mets were up 2-0 in the 9th inning and looking for a Game 6, the Royals would score 2 huge runs to tie the game and bring them to extra innings. The Royals had the belief, and the team then scored 5 runs to give them the 2015 World Series.
The Royals, 2015 World Champions.
It was all excitement as the players jumped around on the field. The MVP trophy was then presented to Salvador Perez.
And congratulations to Sal.
All the players celebrated in the clubhouse, unable to hold back their emotions.
You are the Kansas City Royals World Champions!
And the Kansas City manager, Ned Yost, was so proud of his team.
This group grew up together. This group won championships in AA. This group won championships in AAA. And what they wanted most was to come to this city for you fans and win a world championship for you guys. We celebrate that here today.
The fans in Kansas City poured onto the streets of Missouri's largest city in excitement. After coming so close last year, only to fall short in the World Series to the San Francisco Giants, the supporters finally were able to cheer for their beloved team.
And it was just unbelievable. It's exciting. It's more exciting this time, I think, because all these young fans get a chance to see a win after all these years. 30 years.
The team then returned home with a wave of supporters waiting to greet their heroes. The players then made their way through the streets in what was the Royals' first parade in 30 years. Inside a city of 470,000 residents, a remarkable 800,000 Royals fans gathered to salute the World Series champions. The love and admiration for this team was seen, and the celebration rally brought great pride and joy to Kansas City.
Major League World Series champions!
And I'm joined in the studio by the biggest fans the Royals have in this country and our colleague at I-24, Muhammad Al-Qasim. Muhammad, how big is this?
Huge. By the way, where's Michael? We
He
don't
said
see him here.
He said, I'm going to speak today about football. There's Champions League last night, you know.
Royals are kings. I'm telling you, they've been crowned the World Series champions for 2015. I think they deserve it. Great team, young team. It's great for the city. It was a masterpiece of a season for the Royals. They played great baseball, and the city can't get more exciting or excited than this.
You mentioned the city, a city of 450,000 people, give or take. Almost double the amount of people were there. Now, God forbid, there are people in Kansas City who are not fans. So where did 800,000 people come from?
Well, listen, Kansas City is the city itself is less than 500,000 people lives in the city itself. But Kansas City is the second largest metropolitan area in the whole country in the United States. Many suburbs on the Kansas side as well as on the Missouri side. And the Royals have great fan base, not only in the city and in Kansas and Missouri, but just to the north of us in Nebraska and Iowa, and to the south of us in Arkansas and elsewhere. This is a great team. And Kansas City has great sport fans, and 30 years later we are
waiting
crowned
for so long for any
years.
success in sports.
Exactly. The Chiefs haven't been really doing well lately, and the Royals haven't been doing much for the last 30 years. Now we can start fresh again and say we are world champions, and this is ours. This team basically takes us back to the George Brett and Willie Wilson and Brett Saberhagen, Brett Saberhagen times of 30 years ago when they brought the city back. It's a small market city, and it votes great for other small market baseball teams in the country, Pittsburgh, San Diego, and Oakland, elsewhere, because that means it doesn't matter if you're a small market team. As long as you have the players and you have the good management and good coaches, you can do it. And the Royals are a great example of that.
Now, the series was 5 games. In all 5 of them, the Royals were behind.
Yes.
And yet, in 4 of those 5, they were able to come in from behind with a heroic 9th inning in Game 5. Where is this resilience coming from?
Mental toughness, aggressive play throughout the season, and also perseverance and relentlessness. These players, they can't take no for an answer. It doesn't matter if they're 1 hit or one game behind or 3 games behind, they will come back and they will play tough, and they rely on each other. This is a team. This is not a 1 or 2 stars team where if one falls, the whole team will collapse. This is exactly what a team, how you define a team, and they did great.
Now, shortly, this is their second straight World Series appearance. Will we speak about them again in late October, early November next year?
Let's be realistic. I think the emotions will carry them into next season. But also, General Manager Dayton Moore has a lot of tough decisions to make. Alex Gordon, outfielder, he probably will decline his 1-year contract, $14 million. He wants a long-term contract, 4 to 5 years of $110 million. I'm not so sure if they're...
Surely a lot to look for the Royals. We'll
Yes.
definitely look at them. Muhammad Al-Qasim, thank you very much for coming in. Congratulations. And that's it for this weekend edition. Don't forget you can watch this and every other show on our website at i24news.tv, on Facebook and on Twitter. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.